Alright, boys and girls, I've had this for about a year, so I figure it's about time to install it. The Mr. Cool DIY AC unit. This is the inside unit. They pack it pretty nice. I'm not going to do a step-by-step install. I'm actually just going to put some things up and share as I go along. So, it's packed pretty nice. I'm going to get it out of the box and we'll see what we got. So we've got our wall bracket mounted and our hole drilled. Now I'm going to say, you got to think about when you're putting these things. For some reason my brain thought I have more clearance between my roof and that door, because I wanted to put the unit right here. And when I mounted all the, well actually the cardboard template was a big help. Oh. So it has to be about minimum of 6 inches from the ceiling so the air can get through the top of the unit and stuff. And I put the cardboard bracket up there and realized the drain hole comes for condensate comes through there, and the lines would have to run through the center of the door. Can't do that. Can't go down and below the door because there's a concrete step there. Alright, and we have to go this way because the power's over here and the unit's going to be mounted over there, outside unit. So I had to change plans, I had to move over, and that's not a big deal because actually there's a water line, there's a gas line going through the wall right there, there's a water line going through the wall right there, and right here is an electrical line. So this side of the garage has zero going through it. But I will admit, it seems to me like this unit is more designed for European installations. If you notice, there's a million holes here that you can mount to, and they're all in metric and stuff like that. There's two of them up here that say US. Alright, one there, one over there. And that's 16 on centers, but that's the only two holes I found that are 16 on center. All the ones down here are not even on 16 centers. And they say to mount it with the provided hardware. Mine, I can't find it. It might be somewhere, but I just can't find it, so I use my own hardware. And it was very vague on where to mount it. So that was kind of a little vague on, like, obviously the two 16 on centers, but where else do I mount it? So I had some drywall anchor setups and I put in here because I don't think that's going to hold any weight. That's just the bracket wanted to sit out. So that thing makes it come in. But you can see, here's my 16 center mark. And that might hit, but those won't, you know. So just a little goofiness there. I know that everything's made for other markets and whatnot, and you know this thing's probably big over in Europe and Asia. But now we're going to throw it through the wall, and we'll find any other little things. That's just something I noticed there. Is the instructions are really detailed in some areas, and they're very vague in others. And the where to mount the other hardware besides the two main studs, it sounded like they wanted you to mount more. They didn't show you. So those little parts had arrows, so I put some, like I say, drywall anchors on those. So anyways, I want to get this thing up in there and see what else I can do. Alright, boys and girls, got it up there. Not too hard with one person doing it. I will admit, Bonehead Moo didn't really think about that. It wasn't in the way of actually tipping the unit up in there, it's just the piping coming out is like super straight and rigid, so you kind of had to bend it a little as you went to get it in there. So another thing to think about, I know it had measurements on the instructions about that, it's just my brain didn't really think about the pipe work. I knew I had plenty of room to get it up there. So now on to the outside unit. Alright, boys and girls, it's getting late. This will be enough for today, but I put the wall bracket up there. We got the stuff coming through the wall, and now we just got to bring it down, and it's going to have a coil or two in it. Originally when I thought about doing this, I wanted the unit in this area. I wanted the piping to go up, and then I wanted it to go across the door there, and then come out somewhere over there. The thing I didn't think about is ceiling height. When see how it is right here, this is where it comes out. Well, it couldn't go across the door. And I can't go across the bottom because there's you know, a doorway there. So anyways, we have the unit installed. I am not happy with the wall bracket. Once again, it's on non-standard centers. The bracket is 30 inches wide, and they are like on 13 1/4 inch or something like that centers for the mounting holes, which I can't fathom that. Maybe there's got to be something over in Europe that way. Anyways, the hardware they give you is for concrete wall. They don't give you any hardware for a wood stud wall. Nowhere in the description did it say concrete wall only. It's really set up for concrete lags and stuff. But the reason I wanted to do a elevated mount is you can get closer to the building, and also with the elevated mount, I figured I can go and weed whack under here and not have to pour a concrete slab, even though that's not a big deal. Just I can weed whack in this area and all that, you know, which I'm doing a great job of so far. So anyways, boys and girls, next we'll install the line set tomorrow, and maybe we'll hook power up to it and see how it works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is up and running. So, I don't know, can you guys hear it? Put the camera in there so you can see it's running. Let's get up here. See, that's flopping around a lot. It's quiet. I'm going to tell you what. I did not expect it to be that quiet. I really expected it to be slightly quieter than a window unit, but it is really quiet. So that is a big plus. The installation of the lines and stuff was a snap. I would not worry about that. That was so easy. The only goofiness, which I said earlier, was it doesn't really seem like it's made for 16-on centers. The outside wall bracket that I bought for it, same way. Just that was kind of oddballed. There's a million screws back there for holes. I'll show you on this template here. Every one of those little circles is a hole. And there's only 2 on 16-on center, right where it says US. Over on US, but then they had these arrows pointing to the holes, and they wanted you to put screws there, but you can't put it on a stud. So that was a little weird. A lot of that's kind of metric, but it's been running for an hour or so. From the instant I turned it on, you could feel cold air coming out, and I had the garage door coming open. Now my garage has 0 insulation. There's 0 insulation in the wall, and this is an eastern facing wall, and it's about 1 o'clock now. So this wall's been heating all day. There is 0 insulation up in the attic. Alright? And usually it gets hotter in here than it is outside. So it'll get, like today's probably about 90, 95, somewhere in there. I haven't even checked. And we'll shoot something in here with our little laser gunny. And it's saying 79 degrees on that blanket, 78. That's pretty darn good. Alright? We shoot ceiling of this attic that's not insulated is 94. That's about how hot it normally is in here. Alright? But over here, we're getting 78. So, not bad. It doesn't take much power. I've had the window unit running just to compare, because I have a like 9,000 BTU window unit. And I had it over there running, and it was taking more energy to run that than it does to run this. So, kind of neat comparison. Go outside and show you the outside unit. The outside unit's even quieter than this thing is on the inside. Alright, we're outside at the outside unit. It is running, but it is whisper quiet. The 25-foot line was a lot more than I needed. Should have probably bought the 16, but I originally planned to have it over here, or the air handler here, and then the outside unit over there. But like I say, I could not make the fall. I didn't think about the drain being a problem and going across. I guess you could drop the drain just straight out, but then you get a mark going down the side of your house. So it's not horrible looking. It is incredibly quiet for what it is. And right now, the outside sheeting of my house is 107. The grass that's in the shade is 92. So I'd say that's about what the air temp is, probably around 92. So, you know, for about an hour and a half, maybe let's just say 2, no insulation in the garage, which is an 18 by 18 garage. It's bumping it down, what, 14 degrees, 15 degrees, somewhere around there. You know, that's not bad. Once we get insulation, it should be better. So anyways, boys and girls, don't forget to like and subscribe. The hookup of the lines was incredibly simple. That made it worth it. The bracket I'm not impressed with, and the instructions are a little gray as far as the standard 16 on center stud stuff. But other than that, it's done pretty well. The little line cover kit that I bought is pretty nice. More pieces than I needed because I, once again, not going the distance that I thought I was going to go. But it went up pretty simple and easy. So over and all, I'm pretty happy with it. And I didn't have to call anybody else to help. So that was always a plus, because sometimes it's hard to get people to come out. So anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.